Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. My name's Greg Prescott from in5d.com. And you're tuned into a Friday evening. Welcome aboard, everyone that's here, who's not out celebrating like we used to on Fridays many millennia ago, or what it seems like. Yeah. Is it Friday? No, it's Saturday, isn't it? I don't know. I guess, yeah, it's Saturday. I talked to someone earlier this week. I forgot who, but I was asking this person about time. And this person said that time is just like melding. It's hard to keep track of, what day it is. This was, I thought it was Friday when I came on. It's Saturday. Damn fine. Oh, in the UK, it's Sunday already. It's crazy. Just time just seems to be less and less of a construct, as if it's not even real. Are any of you feeling that? Hi, Tammy and Divine Light. Thanks for joining. There's my sister. Hi, Tara. Hi to Trixie from upstate New York. All right. Where in upstate? I'm from originally Oneonta. Hi, Linda and Lydia. Tammy says, I feel the same. The time is on speed to me. Yeah, it just, who knows where it's going? Some people will say that that's also part of the construct of aging, but I've talked to younger people in their 20s, and they're saying the same thing. So is it more? Is there more to it than that? If you look at the Mandela effect, you didn't hear of the Mandela effect 15, 20 years ago, but maybe about 12 years ago or so, it started coming into our reality. And what we've seen is that the Mandela effect is the product of timelines converging. And that's the one that we're on, whatever that particular Mandela effect may seem to be. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping. I get it. Steve Miller, right, Lydia? Yeah, like it doesn't matter. Yeah. Well, and here you go. Linda thought today was Sunday. I thought it was Friday. So combine them, get the average. It's Saturday. Hoosick Falls, New York. I'm not familiar with that. Hmm. Thank you, Lydia. This is actually a new shirt, and I'm not sure if I can replicate it. Greg Braden has a video about how time's faster now. Sorry, I can't. I'd be interested in watching that, definitely. But yeah, this shirt, I'm not sure if I can replicate it. Originally, it was supposed to be black and pink, but I had to use a different black that I've never used before. And this is the effect that it gave me. And I don't know if I can replicate it again, but it is so cool. I would love to be able to put this out on the website and sell it. It is just so cool the way it looks. Of course, I'd only be able to use that black for this particular t-shirt. I got to go and order some of the older black that I was using before. But it is so cool. I'm digging the way it came out. Definitely. I like the outline around that it makes. So, and yeah, this one will be coming out shortly. It's the Quantum Fire. So stay tuned to in5d.net. I just got to take pictures of that one and upload it to the website, and then it'll be available for purchase. Wow. Are we in retrograde? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let's take a peek. Let me do some research on that. Good question. There's 4 of them this year. Okay, the next one, the last one was April 21st to May 14th. The next one's not until August, so August 23rd. So it's about a 5.5 weeks from now until September 15th. And the last one is December 13th until January 1st, 2024. I bet you could replicate. I could replicate it right now. I could, because I still have the die that I used for both of these. Yeah, I could easily replicate it right now. But it's cool. I love this effect. I mean, so unique. You don't see anything like this anywhere. Completely unique. Let's see. So I went to this psychic fair or mystic fair today here in Sarasota. And I took a video of all the vendors, and I walked around and went from each one, from vendor to vendor. And I try to do that to help them out as well, to let people in the area know that, hey, there's something really cool going on. A lot of like-minded people, lots of gemstones, lots of psychics. One thing that was missing was a t-shirt vendor selling tie-dye. Darn it. But yeah, it was really nice to go there. A couple of the vendors recognized me from in 5D, and I had a little chat with them. And there was a lady there, Natalie, who recognized me from in 5D, and just wanted to say hi to me and tell Allie that she said hello as well. But she's psychic, and she said that right now, Allie's obviously in the UK and I'm here in the States. She said right now, this is exactly the way it has to be right now. It doesn't have to be that way in the future, and it's not going to be, but right now, both of our energies are needed exactly where we are. She said that I have a Native American history that keeps me here as well to protect the area. Another thing she said is that Siesta Key, as magical as that is, and I think if you break down Siesta Key and the numerology of it, A being 1, B being 2, C 3, and so on and so forth, I think Siesta Key works out to be 33 in numerology. So Florida works out to 11, Sarasota works out to 22, and Siesta Key works out to 33. So it's like one of the cities of light on the globe. So she was saying that there is, in fact, a city of light on top of Siesta Key. And she said, my 11th dimensional self can access that. But what I need to do is to process the energy. And she said that could take 2-3 days to process that energy. And oftentimes what we do, we just are in that moment, we're trying to stay present instead of thinking and process. And she made a good point. She said you can access that, but you just have to process it. And I think that would mean going within and tapping into that dimensional energy that's already there, that exists. So I thought that was pretty cool. I want to put this out there because I talked to somebody else who has experienced this, and I want to see if anyone else is having that or experiencing it. You know, I found, maybe it's just getting older, but I don't know if you can see that hair loss, you know. And I talked to a female friend of mine, and she's experiencing that. She said that people who have had COVID have been experiencing this. Not the vaccine, just having COVID. If you've had it, then you're experiencing hair coming out, hair loss. So I'm wondering, I'll put it out there for you guys. Has anyone been experiencing that yourselves? And right off the bat, yeah, there's Tammy. I have hair loss too. Have you had COVID? I think most of us, well, the flu or whatever it was, whatever you want to call it. Moorer says the same thing. Yeah. Aw. Trixie said, wow, I got goosebumps all over when you said Native American. Yeah. One of my spirit guides, Tamara, is a Native American, long black hair, white flowing gown. I'll just tell you this story real quick if you haven't heard it. I've always had an affinity to palm trees. I remember asking my mother, why don't we have a palm tree in the house? It's warm in here. Why don't we have a palm tree? But this is in upstate New York, in the Catskill Mountains. And I couldn't figure out why I had that affinity. It didn't matter to me. I just knew I loved palm trees. Flash forward, I moved to Florida, and I have a dream where I meet my spirit guide. And my spirit guide comes to me and she goes, Greg, my name is Tamara. I'm your spirit guide. And here I am. I can ask her anything in the world. And what do? I repeat her name over and over and over again. Tamara, Tamara, Tamara. And I said it so many times that I woke myself up out of the dream. So here it is, like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I know that every name has a meaning. So I looked up Tamara. Tamara means palm tree. So that obviously explained my affinity for palm trees and why I'm here in Florida right now. Yeah. That Native American, Trixie, that connection, that's part of my connection. I have on N5D, if you go to the search box, all you have to type in is MP3, okay? But go there and you'll find this past life regression MP3. What you do is you listen to this MP3 when you're going to bed, and it triggers a past life. I've only done this once, and that's all I needed to do, because it triggered one of my past lives. And in this particular life, I was a Mayan elder. I wasn't anyone popular. I wasn't Quetzalcoatl or Lord Pakal. I was just an old man in that area. And it was during the Spanish Inquisition, which is ironic because in this incarnation, I'm a quarter Spanish from Spain. Crazy, right? But I was a Mayan during the Spanish Inquisition. I was an old man. And the Spaniards threatened to kill me if I didn't convert to Christianity. This also explains my disdain for organized religion. And I said, okay, yeah, I will, but I lied. because I wanted to pass my knowledge on to the children. And I did. You can check that past life regression MP3 out on n5d.com. Like I said, just type in MP3 and you'll find it. I remember, though, as part of this past life regression, just looking at everything that the Spanish people destroyed from my hometown. And it just made me so sad. It broke my heart. And you can see the conundrum that's going on. You know, I had a past life as a Mayan, yet I'm a quarter Spanish. Crazy. Had a couple other past lives. 2 in Atlantis. In the first one, I was a sculptor and an artist, and I made beautiful creations. And then the second one was at the end of Atlantis, where I was a scientist in charge of the genetic modification of plants, animals, and insects. I was making hideous creatures, really, really. And we've all had lives like this where we've been the best of the best and the worst of the worst. This was not one of my best of the best lives at the end of Atlantis. You know, I was making some pretty nasty shit creations. And I remember as Atlantis was sinking, I remember being underwater and I could see like some of my creations dropping to the bottom of the sea with me and thinking, we cannot let this happen again. We can never let this happen again. But yet you look around, it's already happening. I've posted several articles on N5D of these hideous creations that other people are making. It's looping back around again, and this shit's got to come to an end. By now, you probably have heard of that woman on the plane who saw something, and from the tone of her voice, a lot of us believe her when she said, that motherfucker is not real. There was fear and anxiety. She saw something that nobody else could see. And maybe she saw something on a different vibratory level. I firmly believe she saw something that other people couldn't see. Now, there's been certain people that have come out. There was a guy that came out like 2 days after that, this younger looking kid. And he said he was on the plane next to her and that he was the one wearing the hoodie. Well, he has a parody website, so it was just humor. And then there was another guy that said, this guy with tattoos on his face, he said he was the one wearing the hoodie and he was on the plane. And then the following day after he released that video, he said, no, I was just trolling everybody. So nobody really knows. I did post on my Rumble page and on my Facebook page a different angle from somebody else that was on the plane. But I'm going to put this out there. Is it possible that she was just a distraction? Distraction from what? Well, what happened recently? You know, The Sound of Freedom came out. You know, it's the #1 movie in the theaters. So instead of people talking about The Sound of Freedom, they're talking about that motherfucker ain't real. Right? Is that possible? I don't know. Somebody else, there was, you know, this is secondhand information. Judge it for what it's worth. But somebody said that they're friends with somebody that knows her and that she went on a cruise. Apparently she's on a cruise right now, and that's why nobody can find her. Is that true? I don't know. I don't know. What is interesting, though, is that numerous people have came out saying that when they went to go see that movie, the theater's air conditioning is broken. And this is only happening for the Sound of Freedom movie. All these other movies are playing. You don't hear anything about the other movies having air conditioning problems. Just the Sound of Freedom. What's the odds of that? And this is at AMC theaters. So do you think there's something going on? Yeah, I do too. Let me check out the chat. So yeah, we were talking about hair loss. I have hair loss, yes. I agree. I totally agree. Divine Light, I have hair loss, but don't claim it to the sea bug. Yeah, so it could be a number of things. It could be something in the food, air, water, I guess, right? Hi, Lilith. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, most of us are in the same boat, Lois. We never got the jab, but have had something, that could be sea related. Half my hair has left in the last month. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of people. Holy mackerel. Yes, hair loss would getting C naturally. Hi, Gypsy JJ. Thank you for joining me. Hair loss, yes, not from C and not from any jabs. Ascension. Interesting. The ocean calls me like I am its daughter for some reason. I'd imagine your water sign, or maybe your sun, moon, or rising might be a water sign. Yeah, thank you. That was about my spirit guide. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you might want to check that out. Divine Light says, I've had dreams with Native American elders. I will for sure look up your regression. Yeah, just type in MP3 on N5D. There's a search right at the top of the page. Just type in what you're looking for, hit enter, and you'll find whatever. There's like over 6,000 articles on there. Been doing this since 2009. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for joining. Yeah, it's a sweet story. You never know, and that's part of paying attention to your surroundings and being aware, from like myself, wanting a palm tree in upstate New York. What upstate New Yorkers want a palm tree? And Lilith had a life as a Mayan. She was a priestess, I think. Okay, cool. Wow. And Stacy was also at the end of Atlantis trying to warn people they were not listening to her. It's playing out in this lifetime for me also. Yeah. Just like what happened with me. We can't let this happen again. And it's happening again. I totally get it, Stacy. Thank you for joining me. Hi to Denise. Welcome aboard, Bill. Thank you for joining me. The movie is a distraction. I don't think so, because there's so much good that's going on. What is a possibility, though, is where this could go from this point forward. And people have to be very resilient in this area. I think what they could do from this point forward is start pushing biometrics, everybody getting the chip. That way you can track your children. Your children will never get lost because they have the chip in them, right? And then from that point forward, what are they going to do? Put your bank account on there? cut your bank account off if you don't get the jab. You know, what the movie's done is amazing, and it's helped so many kids and expose what's going on. We just have to be careful, like I said, and vigilant about what could happen from this point forward. We cannot allow them to give us the RFID chips. No, that can't happen. Hi, Suze. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Greg. Some people have brought up salient points about the woman on the plane, meaning she was just a distraction from many things like Ukraine, corrupt CIA and FBI. So, yeah, yeah. And that, where is she now? It's possible that she's on a cruise. No one knows where she is, who she is. Getting back to the hair loss thing. My hair will come out, and then after so long, it'll grow back and then come out again. Well, at least it's growing back. Yeah, I turned 63 in a few months, so I'm just lucky to have what hair I have. Thank you, Suze. Stacy, I'm focusing on cellular health. We're severely magnesium deficient and copper deficient, amongst other things. Probably zinc deficient as well. I take a zinc supplement every day, after breakfast. I took it the other day before breakfast. Oh my God, never ever ever take zinc on an empty stomach. Oh, you'll be nauseous for like 6 hours. But yeah, I take zinc, B6, and I take krill oil throughout the day. I take 1 gram of krill oil 3 or 4 times a day. So I'm getting, the reason is because my HDL was so low. It was only 30, and that's what prevents heart attacks, keeps the blood moving, and prevents clots from just staying and killing you. So I figure, well, I gotta start doing stuff. I had my blood tests come back, and some of the numbers were horrendous. So I've been eating really well. I've dropped 6 pounds, and I'm not hungry. I'm eating lots of good stuff, healthy stuff, and I'm full every day. But I'm not starving myself and losing weight and doing it in a healthy way. So I got to be around for a little while longer until we can figure out where we're heading or the event or whatever. Yeah, I need to be around for that. So, yeah, to what Stacy's saying, yeah, I think people are more cognizant about their bodies and are trying to do what's right for their bodies. They're listening, to what, other people, like, for example, what Stace just said. Those were excellent suggestions on supplements that we all should be using, because we are deficient in many of these. Potassium's another one. Oh man, when I, my medical history, right? I've been in the hospital a number of times in the past 3 years for a number of different things, including quadruple bypass and everything else. Every time they always say I'm potassium deficient, and they give you this crap. You can either take it in a cup with some water. It's orange potassium crap, and it's horrible. Oh, it's the worst tasting shit you've ever had. Or they can give it to you intravenously, and it just burns when it's going in. And I'll tell them, no, I am not getting that shit. I don't want that. I'll just make sure for breakfast I get, a banana, and try to get bananas throughout the day to keep my potassium levels higher. But there's no effing way I'll take potassium in a hospital. It's nasty. Hi, Vera. Thank you for joining me. Feel many past lives. It can also be that we access the DNA memories as well as our ancestors. So many experiences. Yeah. Can you imagine being able to tap into every one of your past lives and know exactly everything that went on in each past life. How much further would we have progressed as humanity if we were able to do that? How little war would there be, if any, knowing that we've all, probably killed people in the past, one way or another, in wars or burning at the stake or being burnt at the stake. If you could have that empathy and look back at all the past lives from an observer standpoint, so it's not going to be traumatic. If you could see all these past lives as an observer, would we be different today? Would we treat one another with more kindness and compassion? I think so. When will you cut your hair? I don't know. Should I? Do you want me to? Got scissors right over there. I don't know. Eventually, I think. I could see myself going short like that. Yeah, maybe keep the top a little long and just cutting most of it off. I could see that happening. Maybe, maybe I'll give the hair to Allie because she's so big about having hair extensions. Or to a cancer patient. Yeah. Linda says she feels like she was at Lemurian. Go check out that article on N5D. Type in MP3. Listen to that when you go to bed tonight. Okay. Something feels off, like a calm before the storm. Yeah, I agree with you, Denise. Yeah. There's something like we're on that precipice. Everybody feels it. I look very young. 62, my dear. 62, my friend. Yeah. 63 in October. Cell salts. Yeah. Santos Bonacci talked about that every astrological sign is deficient in a specific cell salt. And you can just type in cell salts on N5D and you'll find an article on that with the zodiac sign and what cell salt you're deficient in. Okay, Chris says, my son has a quarter-sized bald spot on his head. He did not get the shots, but he did get COVID. Wow. Yeah, so and it's happening obviously to the younger generation as well. Ozzy Osbourne, I just saw a picture of him. He had to cancel his tour. There's a picture of him being pushed in a wheelchair, and there's this huge bald spot on him, and his hair's short. I was talking about it. I brought it up on Tuesday night, and I showed some pictures of it. When I've seen him in concert, though, his hair's long, and apparently that's a wig, and he wouldn't be the only one. All the guys in Steel Panther, except for the lead singer, Michael Steele, they all wear wigs, so who knows? Hi, Brian. Thanks for joining. Got to try out the real Les Paul guitars from a friend of Les. Bucket list moment. Truly 5D moment. Believe in yourselves, spiritual people. Oh, that's nice. Good for you, man. Yeah, that'd be fun. I don't know what song. I've played other people's Les Pauls before. I've never owned one. I've had an SG, like Angus Young's. I don't know what the first song I'd want to play if I had a Les Paul in my hands right now. It'd probably be something heavy and with a crunch to it. It might be Led Zeppelin. Maybe, bar now. Want a whole lot of love. Yeah, something along that line, probably. Vera said when she was a child, she was always low on iron. Doctor said there was nothing wrong. Taking iron now, and my back is improving. Yeah, isn't that something? I wonder if you had been taking that since you were a kid, if you wouldn't have issues right now. Hi, Rosie. Happy Sunday, right? From Australia. Good for you. Yeah, you guys, well, it's your winter right now, right? Glad it's sunny there. You know what brought us awareness and listening to our body? Yes, I'm doing sea salt, cream de tartar, lemon juice with spring water. All right. How's that working for you? How long have you been doing it for? Coconut water is good for potassium. Okay, great. Avocados are great for potassium too. Yeah. I use I use avocado oil when I cook because it's a medium chain saturated fat. So it actually helps you burn fat. It's a very healthy oil. It's probably one of the best, that or coconut oil. Uh, Although coconut oil, I don't think you can use that to cook on higher temperatures. I'm not sure about avocado oil, but I have cooked it on higher temperatures and it's been fine. So, all right. Love you too, brother. Thank you. Check out Dr. Berg as well on YouTube. So much. Barbara O'Neill, naturopath. Okay. Love the suggestions, for people to tune into for ideas on what we can do to make ourselves healthier. Coconut water will also improve your potassium. Very good. Hi, Sarah Ann. I have to take potassium or I get leg cramps. Interesting. Sodium to balance with potassium. Keep my body in a more alkaline state and focus on getting in the minerals. Yeah, I used to drink this water. It was called Alkalife 10 pH water. Oh, it was delicious. It was almost like a little sweet, if anything, but it was the best water. This I can't afford it now, but man, I when I could afford it, I'd buy it by the case. I drank a lot of that. I loved that water. Yeah, I'll probably be selling it. I can probably replicate this. I used a different black that I never used before, and I was expecting this to be, black like this kind of black, which would have looked really cool, but this looks even cooler. And I'm not sure if I can replicate this. I'm gonna try. I'll put it out there, and if I can't replicate it, then I'll just give people a refund. But I should be able to. I still have the black and the pink, so we'll see. It's pretty cool though. It sure is. Yeah, I need to put this out there and get this uploaded as well. Leave the hair long. Yeah, it'd be kind of weird having it all shaved off. Yeah, I think Allie needs to be asked. She would say, "I don't care." I've already asked her about it. She says, yeah, I wouldn't love you any less either way." But I agree with you, Sally. Yeah, hair is your antenna, and they've done studies on that. The military did a study on that, um, on Indians who had long hair versus short hair, and yeah, you pick up things. Your antenna is tuned in, right? Aw, thank you, Stacy. Your hair is cool. Thank you. Don't cut it. Okay, all right. Not for a little while, at least. Eventually, but yeah, I can't see myself cutting it anytime in the near future. So I got, 3 years ago, and it turned out to be something in my body that wreaked havoc on my entire system: seizures, inflammation, mold, toxicity, allergies, POTS, MCAs, etc. I'm 80% better, but it's been quite the journey. I'm blessed. I'm healing. So many others on the same journey. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's something more than your traditional flu, that shit that was going around. It was pretty, it was a genetically modified flu, basically. And a lot of us have caught it. Many of us never got the jab. We're resilient. Our natural immunity is fighting against it, continued to this day. So Yeah. And yeah, well, I can't say. What I was going to say would be appropriate for Rumble, but not here. Led Zeppelin's rock and roll on a Gibson Les Paul. Yeah. Hey, Danny. How are you? Good to see you here. Yeah, that's a good point, Sally. Getting spike proteins from, you know what? Check out Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. Some graphene oxide. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of shit that's going down with that crap. And we all end up, my parents are fully jabbed and boosted, and I'll go there and I'll hug them and all, and I know I'm probably getting, shit that's I can't. Once again, I can't go into that stuff here on YouTube and Facebook, but you know what I'm talking about. Fortunately, my parents are fine. Men always used to have long hair. Yeah, yeah, we did. I wonder if that's part of the cover up, the conspiracy. At what point did men start getting their hair cut short, and was it because of the antennas? Never cut your hair, grow a beard. I don't know. Not a beard. No, it's too hot in Florida. Danny, when's your interview with Craig? Uh, well, Danny, bless her, she was putting out the truth and ended up getting a YouTube strike for putting the truth out there. So, whenever that comes out on her channel, I don't know. Just check it out. Make sure you subscribe to Danny's YouTube channel. Oh, here it is, Thursday. When her boob tube ban is lifted. Yeah. Aw. Yeah, I'm proud of you, Danny. That strike is a badge of honor because you're doing the right thing. And you're standing in that vibration of truth, love, and light. You're on the right side of history. That's what it's going to happen. As are all of you, everyone that's watching and that has been shadow banned or had their voices censored, have had shit blocked on social media. In the end, you're going to be seen and viewed as being on the right side of history. And all of us are going to be the founding mothers and fathers of the golden age, of the age of Aquarius. So continue standing in that vibration. I've said it many times. Often people will pretend to be what society expects them to be and will go to their graves never knowing who they truly were. Don't be that person. Be yourself. Get that voice out there. Talk to people. You got a voice, use it. Aw, thank you, Danny. Interesting. Brian says, as I've grown my hair long, I've become more in tune to the universe and my soul. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's a badge of honor, Tammy. Yeah. Okay, well, wow. We've been chatting for a while. I haven't even gotten into what I wanted to talk about, and that's 6 ways to talk to people who just don't get it. So I'll put it out there. How do you guys talk to people who don't get it? We all know them. Here's a great example. I asked my mother a hypothetical question. And this is one of the ways that I use to talk to people. Ask them a hypothetical question. And the hypothetical question that I asked my mother was, if there was no such thing as money, what would you be doing with your life? Now myself, excuse me, I would have an orchard, and I'd have a sign out front, and it would say, help yourself, and if you know someone who's hungry, grab some for them. I would also work with children, helping them find their true divine purpose in life. So I would help them, I'd just guide them in different metaphysical, spiritual directions. You know, let's work on telepathy today, or let's work on telekinesis. You know, introduce them to certain areas and let them explore and find for themselves what it is, what their true life purpose is. So I asked this question to my mother: if there was no such thing as money, what would you be doing? Her answer: that's preposterous. What do you mean, if there's no such thing as money? Are you kidding me? And her mentality is as if money's always been around. Maybe before humanity, there was just money floating. You know, she just doesn't get it. And she never will. She never will. Well, can't say that, you know, because after she donated a kidney to my sister, she was in the hospital room and she saw an apparition appear at the end of her bed, and the apparition told her that everything was going to be okay. So I know she gets visions. I know she'll see things also. And my dad, he gets visited in his dreams by these three men wearing suits, men in suits. But he thinks that they're his guides, and I believe him. So yeah, some people, it's hard to talk to about things. How do you guys talk to people who don't get it? Now, in my article, I suggest to find some common ground. You know, a lot of people are curious about UFOs, and they've either seen one or know someone who's seen a UFO. So ask them about their beliefs in UFOs. Do you think they're malevolent, benevolent? Have you ever seen one? And it's just a way of opening up the conversation. Most people will have some kind of opinion or answer. In the article, I go on to say that there's dramatic earth changes that are going on right now. Tsunamis, volcanoes, earthquakes, mass animal die-offs, sinkholes, land cracks, solar flares. Bring up one of those topics and segue into other earth-changing topics. From here, you can mention how our planet follows cycles of time, how history always seems to repeat itself, and how to learn from these cycles of time. Number 2 would be, and this is what I was telling you guys about my mom, ask hypothetical questions. If there was no such a thing as money, what would you be doing with your life? A simpler one would be, if you were an animal, what kind of animal would you be and why? Or you could go from a metaphysical aspect and say, if you could have any ability, what would it be and why? You know, some people might want to be invisible, or other people might want the ability to read minds. And from here, you can talk about ways to work on specific abilities, such as telepathy, seeing auras, and telekinesis. Another way to talk to people who just don't get it is to ask them to watch just one video. What video, if you could only offer one video to somebody that's either curious or hasn't awakened yet, but might be open to at least watching a video, What video would that be? What video would you recommend? And there's a number of them. Personally, for me, it could be Esoteric Agenda, The Secret, Zeitgeist, Ring of Power. There's a lot of great movies out there that are amazing for the awakening, but just to get one of those, gosh, I don't know which one. I would have to use my discernment on the situation. It might be different. If I feel somebody might be leaning more metaphysical, maybe I'd do The Secret or Esoteric Agenda. If they were more religious, it might be Zeitgeist. Number 4 of the ways to talk to people who just don't get it would be to look for opportunities to plant the seed. So let's imagine you're standing in line at the grocery store. To start a conversation, you might try saying, I never really knew about genetically modified foods until I read about it on, whatever your favorite website is. You want to just plant that seed, and create that curiosity. And, from that point forward, somebody might say, oh, okay, well, I didn't know that. That's interesting. You figure out what it is that you can use as an opportunity to plant a seed that would make other people be more curious about whatever it is that you're trying to get them to look into. Another idea is to make a statement, to be creative. And the simplest way of doing this is to make a custom t-shirt, put it right out there, and go out and just walk for the hell of it. Go to the mall, go to popular places, and wear that shirt with whatever statements on there. People will read it. Some people will end up asking you about it. And the last way would be to ask other like-minded people, hey, how do you reach people when you know that a lot of people aren't going to be listening to begin with? And to do that, go to workshops, conferences, go to a drum circle, and just ask the people there, how do you talk to people? How do you start a conversation with someone who doesn't get it? And it's important to remember, many times they're not going to be interested. And if that's the case, let it go, because they're going to block you off no matter what. But if there is interest, there's hope. So how do you guys reach people who just don't get it? They roll their eyes and laugh at me. Aw, that's not good. I taught in 200 schools with children, taught thousands to meditate over 35 years. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for your service. What do these people just not get? Okay, well, go to a religious person and talk to them about reincarnation. Well, a Christian person, because some religions believe in reincarnation. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Try telling them that you see orbs or you channel voices. See if they get it. Yeah. Like your ideas for questions to bring up. Thank you. Yes, definitely subscribe to Danny. She's an amazing woman. You'll dig her channel and all of the interviews. I need to get back into interviewing. I've done so many in the past. You know, you can go to N5D Radio and see interviews that I've had with Dolores Cannon, Jordan Maxwell, Jim Delacoli, just a number of people. And yeah, I need to get back into that myself. Mary says, I say, old chap. No, she says, I say, do you know what I found out? And give them the source. If they say they don't believe it, say, I know. I didn't before either. I was shocked. Stephen Greer. Yeah, that's good stuff. The Disclosure Project. He came out with some new information, more people disclosing stuff about UFOs. But the original one was so much better, I think, in my opinion, because there were so many more people that came out on the Disclosure Project and started talking about stuff. And there was that one guy that impressed the heck out of me. He said that UFOs went and disabled all the nuclear warheads at this one particular military base, and probably other ones as well. But this one that he was associated with, and it makes you wonder, did they do that to all the nuclear warheads throughout the world? I think it's impossible to have another nuclear war because of our galactic friends and neighbors. They've disabled all the nuclear warheads. It's not going to happen. Gypsy JJ, love The Secret, Greg. Thank you for suggesting it to me on a reading with you and Allie. Oh, you're welcome. That's like one of the most powerful videos or books you'll ever read. It's the law of attraction. What you put out there comes back to you. Are there drum circles in Sarasota? Every Sunday. And then in Englewood, just right down the road, they have drum circles on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So 3 times a week, basically. Like the video topic. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining me, J-Man. Oh, wow. You're so lucky. Yeah. Got to spend time with Dolores Cannon. Wow. What a beautiful soul she is, huh? Yeah. Yeah. I was very fortunate to have interviewed her, but, like about a year before she died. It's wonderful that you actually got to spend physical time with her. Wow. So, held in from Calgary. Whoa. Wow. Looks like it snowed with all the hail. Holy shit. Hey, Tasha. Thank you for joining me. Having a breakthrough episode of my meds, and my thoughts have gone extremely dark and negative. Wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. A breakthrough episode of my meds and my thoughts. I'm not sure what that means, a breakthrough episode of my meds. Are you complicit? Are you taking the medicine that you're supposed to be taking? Wow, Dolores, just listening to her tonight. Yeah. I used to have every one of her Convoluted Universe books, but I ended up lending them out, and some I've gotten back and some I haven't, and they're exactly where they need to be, I guess. Okay, you might want to talk to your doctor, because it sounds like, and don't quote me as saying this, because I'm not. This is just for entertainment purposes only here. But it sounds like you might need to have your levels checked. You might be taking too much of something and not enough of another. You might want to contact your doctor on this. This isn't something someone can answer here online. Sorry. It's a dark double Cancer new moon. Wow. Mm. Hey, Rob. Thanks for joining. How are you? Is this real? Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining. Welcome aboard. Well, I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Took a little longer than what I expected because, gosh, we ended up chat. We have, it's like a tangential chat where we start here and we go off here and then over here and then over, you know. But I love that because you guys bring up amazing topics and there's so much for all of us to learn from each other. So it's a beautiful thing. Hey, Phil, welcome aboard. I'm just wrapping things up right now. I just plant seeds like time is an illusion relay. It is. It is, and that's easy for people to say, what do you mean time's an illusion? And you can take it from that point forward, create an argument. So, yeah. Thank you, Lydia. Hit the like, hit the share. This is a great way. Just share this video on your social media. Maybe somebody will find something on there. Maybe they'll type in the MP3 on n5d.com and have a past life regression. If you haven't done that, try it tonight. See if it triggers a past life regression for you. So I'm going to leave it off at that. I want to thank everybody for joining me as well. And thank you for everyone who's on our N5D Patreon page. I actually had a banner made for that, and I never had a chance to actually let it go. But yeah, thank you for everyone who's on our N5D Patreon page, who's part of our N5D Patreon family. Check out N5D Quantum Tie-Dye for cool shirts like this. I'll probably end up uploading this one to N5D Quantum Tie-Dye because I have the dye already made right now, and I'm sure I can replicate it with exactly what I have. We'll see. I'll try to get that out there. What else? Tune in to Allie and me on Tuesday nights. We have Greg and Allie live on N5D TV on 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific on Tuesday. And then at 10 o'clock, we do our global predictions. We took the week off this week, but we came back on Thursday. But yeah, global predictions at 10 o'clock on the N5D YouTube channel and Facebook as well, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And then on Thursday night, we go live and uncensored on Rumble. So I think maybe my next chat will be a Rumble chat where we can talk uncensored. Because I hate having to censor myself, but I can reach a lot of people though on YouTube and Facebook. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. I love all the conversation that we have, the interaction. You guys are amazing. So until the next time, sending you all tons and tons and tons of love and light from my heart to yours. Take care, everyone. Good night.